Hello friends, welcome to Dr. Osman's Edu Trends, Swing into Educational Trends. In the last video, we have seen the part 1, quality control and quality assurance, manufacturing operations and control. So today we will be talking about the 3 remaining modules of manufacturing operations and controls, that is production record review, change control and aseptic process control. Now if we talk about production record review, we all are aware that the drug product production and control records, including those for packaging and labeling, shall be reviewed and approved by Quality Control Unit to determine compliance with all the established, approved written procedures before a batch is released or distributed. Any unexplained discrepancy, it could be including a percentage of theoretical yield exceeding the maximum or minimum percentages established in master production and control record, or the failure of a batch or any of its component to meet any of its specifications shall be thoroughly investigated, whether or not the batch has already been distributed. The investigation shall extend to other batches of the same drug product and the other drug products that may have been associated with specific failure or discrepancy. A written record of the investigation shall be made and shall include the conclusions and follow-ups. Now, according to 21 CFR 211.192 Production Record Review, the United States Pharmacopoeia has established that the acceptable range of most compounded preparation is typically plus or minus 10%. However, it can be as great as plus or minus 20% as with some proteins, or tight as plus or minus 5% as with potent analgesics. For some raw powders, potency is required to be within plus or minus 2%. In addition to 211.192 requires review and approval of all production records prior to batch release and distribution, and unexplained discrepancy or the failure of a batch or any of its components to meet any of its specifications shall be thoroughly investigated. Now let us have a glance on change control. So in pharmaceutical industries, change control has a very important role. Specifically, every change is reported by change control process. When a change is made in any process or procedure, it is reported by change control procedure, and that should be approved by the company authorities, whoever are taking care of it. Change control is used to control the changes made in the processes. The following are the changes which are supposed to be reported by change management process. In case of production, the location, the equipment, the process control parameters and the batch size. If it is changed, then that should be reported to the change management process. Engineering side, if we talk, then any equipment or its critical part, the facility or the design layout, if it is changed from the previous one, then should be reported. The research and development side, specifications of raw material, packaging material or the finished product, addition or deletion of any raw material in the product, change in quantity of raw material in the product, addition or deletion of any manufacturing steps, change in shelf life, environmental conditions, specifications of in-process intermediate materials, storage conditions or method of analysis or change in sampling plans and method, or hardware or software of any computerized analytical instrument, and stability protocols. If any change occurs in this all things, then that should be reported to the authorities. Specifically, if we talk about the materials pertaining to raw and packaging material, then change in source of any raw material or primary packaging material to be reported at the earliest. The quality control and quality assurance departments. So the quality control department, so change in method of analysis or change in sampling plans and method, or any hardware or software change with respect to the computerized analytical instruments, or change in stability protocols, or any specifications of raw material, packaging material, all the finished products, specifications of in-process or intermediate materials. So that should be taken into consideration, or that should be reported at the earliest. In quality assurance department, any change in sampling plan or quantity of sample, any change in documents or statements of purposes, or any change in validation protocols to be reported. The information technology part, like I told you, any change in the hardware and software of any type of analytical instrument or anything, any equipment. Specifically, then finally the cleaning procedures. So any change in the cleaning steps or cleaning aids or the cleaning agents, that should be reported at the earliest. So next is about sterile products, aseptic process control and packaging. What is aseptic processing? Basically, it is the production of sterile drug products by bringing together the product, container and closure that have been subjected to different sterilization methods separately and assemble them in an extremely high quality environment by skilled professionals using the right tool. Now, the different important segments of aseptic processing are like the facilities, the equipments, the process, the personals who are involved in aseptic processing, then the control and verification, then the finished product testing, then documentation. Now, if we talk about the facilities, then the design should be taken into consideration, like the zoning and differential pressure, the temperature, the relative humidity of the facilities, the personal and material flow. Then also the air filtration also should be taken into account. If we talk about the equipment side, then material of construction, sanitization, component of preparation and sanitization should be taken into consideration, that these segments should be properly followed and to be implemented. Then the process like the product formulation, filtration, filling, lyophilization and capping. These things are important. And then if we talk about the personals who are involved in aseptic processing, then they should have the regular qualification. They should know the aseptic technique. Then comes the control and verification, like the environmental and personal monitoring should be observed. Then aseptic filling simulations, that are the media fills, that has to be very much supervised. Then the finished product testing, like whenever the product is being very much ready, then the testing of the product should be done, like the sterility testing, the particulate testing, container closure integrity should be tested, other final product releasing testing should be done, and then finally the stability testing. Then the last important segment of aseptic processing is documentation, where media fill records, the production batch records, the EM trend data and the release testing batch records should be documented, and investigation with the response to excursion and corrective actions should be documented. Let us talk about the environmental monitoring components. Like there are airborne non-viable particulate monitoring, airborne viable contaminant monitoring, viable contaminant monitoring of the surface, viable contaminant monitoring of the personals, temperature and humidity monitoring, pressure differential monitoring. So these all monitoring should be taken into consideration whenever you are talking about or whenever you are implementing environmental monitoring. If you are talking about the water monitoring, then the total organic carbon of the water should be tested and should be taken into consideration. Then the conductivity, the microbial contaminants which are available in the water, and the endotoxins. Moving on to the air monitoring, the microbial contaminants which are present in air, that has to be taken into consideration. The regulatory basis for environmental monitoring program, so we need to follow the regulations given by the CFR GMP regulations or the FDA guidance documents, the Food Drug Administration guidance document, or the United States Pharmacopoeia informational chapter. Now, if we particularly talk about the control area, the preparation or manufacturing area where the non-sterile product, in-process material and the product contact equipment surface, containers and closures are exposed to the environment. Control non-viable and viable contaminants to reduce product process bioburden. So you have to control the non-viable and viable contaminants to reduce the product and process bioburden. Class 1 lakh or class 10,000, that has to be taken into consideration. So capping areas are now considered as the control manufacturing areas. They should be supplied with HEPA filtered air and they should meet 1 lakh conditions during the static conditions. Critical area, the aseptic processing area where the sterile products, components or in-process products are exposed to the environment and no further processing will occur. Here the air quality must be class 100 during the processing, and local class 100 areas are often utilized during open processing step during drug substance manufacturing. The area just preceding the sterile core should be one classification higher than the core. Now let us talk about the microbial testing of air and water. The different types of water used in pharmaceutical processes are purified water, water for injections, softened water, water for final rinse, pure or clean steam, water for cooling, autoclave. Now let us have a glance on how water for injection is used in this manufacturing process and control. It should be defined by United States Pharmacopoeia and should be purified by distillation or reverse osmosis. The water which is prepared complying with the US EPA National Primary Drinking Water Regulation and should not have any added substances. If we talk about purified water, then it should be according to how it is defined in United States Pharmacopoeia. It should be obtained by a suitable process, either by deionization or reverse osmosis or combination of both. Potable water should meet the National Drinking Water Regulation and it should be according to 40 CFR Part 141. And periodic monitoring in-house as well as periodic certificates from municipality should be obtained if applicable. Now, why the purity of raw water is important here? So, although reasonably water is pure, it is always viable. So, it may contain different types of contaminants. Seasonal variation may occur in water and some regions will have poor quality of water and you have to control the microbes to avoid contaminating products. Now, if we talk about the contamination of water or the contaminants of water, there is no pure water in nature. So, as we all are aware that the water is not pure everywhere. It may have unacceptable contaminants. So, the contaminant groups which can be available in water are inorganic compounds or organic compounds or solids or gases or microorganisms. The microorganisms could be algae, protozoans like Cryptosporidium, or bacteria could be Pseudomonas or gram-negative non-fermenting bacteria or Escherichia coli or coliforms. The treatment of water will be depends on the water chemistry and contaminants present in it, which are influenced by either could be rainfall, erosion, pollution or dissolution, or it may be due to evaporation, sedimentation or decomposition. There may be a presence of minerals like calcium and magnesium, iron, manganese, silicates, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, phosphates, copper, aluminum, heavy metals like arsenic, lead and cadmium or nitrates. Now let us have a glance of microbial testing of water. The water should be tested for presence of coliforms or Pseudomonas, the bacteria if appropriate, which may cause biofilm. The water which is supposed to be used for parenterals should be tested for pyrogens. Limit should not be more than 0.25 EU per ml. And the water should be tested using R2A agar, that is low nutrient for recovery of waterborne organisms. And they are incubated for at least 5 days at 30 to 35 degrees centigrade. The sampling procedure should follow those used in production. Now, if you want to go with microbial testing of air, then the sampling locations should be based on the risk of microbiological contamination and should be clustered around the areas where product or components are exposed. For example, at filling heads or filling lines, or loading of product into lyophilizers or stopper bowls, or where the aseptic conditions are made, or where there are high levels of operator activity without impacting the production. Now the methods, if you talk about the methods, then there is a surface monitoring. Product when it is coming in contact with surfaces, floors, walls or equipment, they are supposed to be tested on regular basis. Like the touch plates are used for flat surfaces. Like the sample area should be of 25 centimeter square and the medium should protrude above sides. Medium should contain neutralizers. Now if you talk about the surface swabs, then they are used for irregular surfaces. Area of about approximately 25 centimeter square is swabbed and it is used for qualitative and quantitative testing. Now one is active air monitoring, where the impaction, centrifugal and membrane samplers are taken to consideration and a certain volume of air is sampled. The volume and location should be meaningful here and the instrument should be calibrated. The another one is passive air monitoring, where the settle plates are exposed for 30 to 60 minutes and replaced for duration of filling. The longer may be the result in agar drying out. The media should be capable of growing a range of bacteria and molds, like example soybean casein digest agar is used here. Now here we can consider using media specific for molds if shown to be a problem in environment, and it should only give qualitative or semi-quantitative results, and data should be generated and it should be considered in combination with active air sampling results. If you talk about the incubation period, then it is at least for 14 days It is 20 to 25 degrees centigrade for soybean casein digest medium and or trypticase soy broth medium, and 30 to 35 degrees centigrade for fluid thioglycolate medium, which is usually used to detect aerobic and anaerobic organisms. The test containers should be inspected and the temperature should be monitored, and monitoring devices should be calibrated. If the product produces suspension, flocculation or deposits in media, suitable portions, for example 2 to 5%, should be transferred to fresh media after 14 days, and again incubation for further 7 days to be carried out. The validation study should demonstrate that the media are capable of supporting growth of range of low number of organisms in presence of product, and may need to incorporate inactivators, and growth should be evident after 3 days for bacteria and 5 days for molds, and media may be purchased or made in house using validated sterile or sterilization procedures. So that's complete part 2 of quality control and assurance, manufacturing, operations and control. Thank you.